Hello guys, and welcome to my new YouTube channel, Lab Miners. This is the first video I will be posting on this channel, so please bear with me. Today I will be showing you how to build a basic GPU mining rig with a very low cost, let's say little amount of material that is strong enough and practical enough that you can move it around and take it where you want. So this is the rig that I already built. As you can see here, it has three GPU cards in it. It's made of a plastic box, and what I will be doing today, I will be dismantling it. I have a new box and I will improve the design a little bit. So I'll be showing you how I did it step by step, and so let's get on with it. Instead of buying motherboard rising screws, they are a little bit expensive and you have to order them online. These screws you can buy in any hardware store. So I will be putting this under the motherboard and holding the motherboard to the wood with such a normal wood screw. And the frame is made out of this plastic box. It's a standard Euro box. It has 60 centimeter by 40 centimeter and 22 centimeter high. You can find them also in any hardware store, and the nice thing about these boxes is that they are stackable, so you can put a few boxes on top of each other, and they have a solid frame. So what I will be doing is I will be cutting those pieces open. I will remove the sides, except one piece of the side here where the power supply will be staying. This will stay to attach the power supply to the frame, but all the remaining pieces of the side I will be removing them. These long screws here I will be using to stabilize the GPU cards, attach them in some sort of like this. That's my idea. I will be attaching them to the box with the help of these things over here. The motherboard that I will be using for this rig is the BTC T37 motherboard. It comes already with a CPU, Celeron CPU in it, so you do not need to buy a CPU. The only thing you will need to buy is a 4 GB piece of RAM. It's a laptop RAM. It's not the big size, the DDR4, the small RAM that goes into a laptop. And you will need to have a hard disk. You can either have the SATA hard disk or you can have the small mSATA. I find the mSATA is practical. If you can find a cheap mSATA, there are 128 gigabytes mSATA for like, I don't know, $20. This is a good option. If you can find one of these mSATA disks, you just attach it here and it goes in. There are a few kinds of these BTC. There is the T, the S, I think, and there's a third kind. You can distinguish them by the color of the PCI, by the PCIe slots. And this is the black one, the blue one, and the yellow one. They have even more spacing between the PCIe slots. So if you are interested in putting 8 GPUs on this motherboard, maybe you should get the biggest one, the largest one that has more spacing. Advantages of it is you do not need GPU risers. You can plug in your GPUs directly on the motherboard. There's enough spacing, but you need to put external cooling for the motherboard. One small disadvantage of it is that it does not have a Wi-Fi. So you will need either a LAN cable to plug in or a Wi-Fi USB small adapter. They do not cost much. This is a mining motherboard, so it's automatically starting when you plug it to power. You don't need to configure or do anything on the BIOS. You just plug in your things, you plug in your RAM, your hard disk. You have to flash the operating system on your hard disk and you start it and it is already running. It's quite cheap, for like $125 I bought this one. You can find a used hard disk, old SATA one, and a used RAM, 4 GB RAM, also for cheap price, and you don't need extra money for this. And what I did is just I screwed it directly to these pieces of wood as risers, and as I said, you can put between the motherboard and the wood these things just to rise the motherboard a little bit so it's not touching the wood directly. But you can screw it directly to these pieces of wood, and it becomes very sturdy. It holds the weight of the GPUs, and you can put it inside the plastic box. You have to cut the piece of wood to be the exact size of the plastic box, so it is stuck and not moving in the bottom of the plastic box. So to cut the plastic box, you can use a cutting knife like this. It might be a little bit hard to cut this plastic box, so what I decided to use is this flame torch here. I will be, let's start it. Okay, you heat your knife a little bit, and then it will be much easier to cut the plastic. Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, one more time. Okay, we are getting there, I think. A third time, and then it will be. Yes, and now we went through the plastic to the end. Let me turn this off, and we have a nice, beautiful, clean cut here, as you can see. I will continue to cutting all the sides and show you the result afterwards. Okay, this is again just to show you on the lower side. When you warm up your knife, it will be much easier to cut this plastic. Okay guys, cutting the box is finished. As you can see, I removed 3 sides completely, and only one side here I left this piece because the power supply will be attached to this piece here. I will be using some zip ties to attach it to this piece here. Now we will be first thing doing putting the motherboard inside the box. So this is my motherboard again, the mSATA hard disk. It's already flashed with the HiveOS operating system. The laptop RAM is already plugged in, and I have the Wi-Fi adapter here, 2 pieces of wood that are the size of the inside of the box, and here I have 6 wood screws and 6 small bolts. So the idea is to put the motherboard on the bolt and then screw it into the wood. I'll be attaching this motherboard to those 2 pieces of wood and show you how it looks like afterwards. I decided to put the motherboard as far back as the bottom of the box. This is hiding the HDMI port. If you're gonna need it, then you're gonna have to move your motherboard a little bit down. But I will be using this port here to connect the screen if I need it. And when you attach your motherboard, just make sure you leave a small space here for the PCI card's metal part to go between the box and the motherboard. Don't just stick it too much to the box edge. Just leave it with a little bit space like this. There you go. If you can see here, this motherboard is held by these screws and lifted up from the wood with these small nuts. We have 7 of them. You can put more if you want, but I left most of them empty. I think it's strong enough now, and we can put it inside the box. It will fit just right in like this. That's it. Okay, and this is the power button here is accessible still. The next thing you need to do is put your power supply, and luckily it was just a perfect fit. I was worried it will come on top of it, will not fit, and it will be on top of the motherboard, but it looks perfect from this side. I will put a small piece of wood under it just to keep it holding. Drill a couple of holes here and there and attach it with the zip tie. If you are interested with my wood cutting technique, this is the saw that I'm using. And these are rather cheap pieces of wood I bought also from a hardware store, and I think this is for food processing, to cut fish or something like this. I just use it to cut these pieces of wood. I will be drilling the holes at the end of the video. For now you can see it's just lying on those two pieces of wood. It's perfectly fitting. I'll make a hole here, hole under, and attach it with a zip tie. The next step is I will be connecting this power supply. It's a 1600 watt power supply. It can fit I think up to 5 GPUs, but I'm using it only for 3, and I will show you. So all these cables are for no need. First thing you need to attach is the motherboard. Okay, there you go. These cables will stay here, and we have a whole bunch of cables here. These cables, they are dual 8-pin. These are power for the GPUs. I have 1, 2, and 3 of them. And these 3 cables in this kind of motherboard, you don't need only to power your GPU. You have to also power the PCI slot where the GPU goes in. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 PCI, and these must be PCI 16 speed slots. Be careful when you buy your motherboard, otherwise your GPU will not work accordingly. And you have to add power to the PCI slot. For this you will need some adapter cables. So I bought these small adapter cables. This is from SATA, because the connector for the PCI slot is a 6-pin, and this is an adapter from SATA to 6-pin. Okay, I have 3 of those, SATA to 6-pin, and I have three of those. So I will be powering up 3 PCI slots and connecting 3 GPUs to it. Since I have 3 GPUs, I will be skipping this first PCI slot, which is very close to the power supply, and I will power the second PCI slot, this one, and then I will skip 2 and power this one. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 2, and I will power this one. Then I will be skipping also 2 slots and powering the last PCIe slot here. And this one goes. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 PCIe slots powered, which is 2nd, 5th, and 8th slots are powered. I will be attaching the GPUs, the graphics cards now. I have 3 cards, 3080 Ti's, which are quite huge. They go back as back as 30 centimeter. So first one goes into the second slot. Okay. Second one, I will skip 1, 2, and it will go into the third slot here. the last one will go into the last slot here. Okay, and we have 3 GPUs. Touching the power. Okay. Looks like I need both of my hands, so I'll be putting power here. Okay, before the power I will need to attach the fans before the GPUs. Okay, forgot before putting the GPUs, this motherboard comes also with 4 fan connectors, 4 pin, and also I bought, where's the old box? I bought these 4 pin fans. I'll give you on the links later where to get them from and their prices, and I will be connecting the power for the fans before putting the CPUs because it goes under the GPUs. There we go. 4 fans, 1, 2. I'll put 3. I'll leave the 4th one for later. And 3. And now we will be putting the GPUs on top. For stabilizing the cards, they have to be put stable. Here I will be drilling a hole here on top of the card using this screwdriver. It will go inside this hole, and with some nuts I will be stabilizing it. For drilling the holes you can use a screwdriver, and I found that using this iron welder is very fast and quite effective to make small holes in these plug boxes. So okay, we're starting with the first hole on top of this one. I'll make it right here. Now we will make a second hole right here, and the third hole right here. Okay, let's see how this will go. You have to put a screw inside this. It is small. I have to make it bigger. Careful, don't burn yourself or burn anything else. Nice. Okay. Now let's see. It's too tight. Let's try the middle one first. I think it's the easiest. Okay, so we will put a nut. You can use less nuts, but I decided to use 3 nuts. One will hold the screw to the plastic, one will be on top, and one will be okay. Okay. Or not. Can put this small. Maybe without it. Okay. Let's tighten these things. And then this is tightened down. And this is tightened up. Oh, it worked better than I thought. It's quite stable, quite sturdy, quite good. Tighten this, tighten this. So 1 bolt and 3 nuts. So, as you can see, there's a nut here under, and a nut here, and a nut here. And this thing is very, very stable. I will add for the first and third card, and I will show you again. All 3 cards are connected in place and sturdy. I can connect the power now. First card. Second card. And oops, okay. We have to do some improvising here. And nope, something's not right here. Now the last step is connecting the cooling fans from the back, and they will go. Be careful that these fans should be pulling air away from the graphics card. So this side should be to the inside, and the covered side where you have the plastic should be the outside. So when you put your hand in front of the fan, you feel the air blowing to the outside of the box. And for this I will be also drilling holes and attaching the fans with zip ties. I will be putting 3 fans on this side, and the 4th fan I will be connecting it from this side if there is a need, if I see that the temperature needs more than 3 fans. For now I will start with 3 fans on the back of the rig, and I will show you how it looks like after I'm finished. So just hold the fan with your hand like this, and you see there's a hole here, and we will make a hole here, and we will make a hole here, and that's it. Okay, stop. There you go, 3 fans connected in the back with small holes and zip ties, and lucky this plastic box already has some holes in the bottom, so I could connect without making holes. I just put three ties, 1, 2, 3. I didn't connect the 4th corner. I don't think it's needed. It looks sturdy enough. The power supply is here. You have the 3 GPUs, and this thing is ready to be powered up. I will plug it to the power and show you. Okay, so turn this thing like this. Power cable. We'll turn the power on. We have a fan that is making noise. I will take a look at it later. I will fix it. It's touching the cable. Ah, I found it. Oh, okay. Maybe attach it, hold it here. Okay, now it looks better. And there we go. I will start my computer and check the temperature on this rig, show you on the screen of the computer how the temperature is looking like. The fans are blowing air. If you put your hands here, they are blowing air outside of the rig. Their function is to take the hot air from here and suck it outside the rig. Do not make sure your fans are blowing to the outside, not to the inside. The GPUs did not start running their fans yet. They are still cool. Once it becomes fully operational, this one already started. Okay. And let's see. I will show you how it's looking like on the Hive OS. Now the mining rig has been running for a few minutes, and you can see I have 3 GPUs, 3 ATTIs, and this is the temperature, 54, 59, 58. The one in the middle is a little bit struggling more than the rest, but the temperature is stable at 58, but the fans are a little bit working at a higher speed. The first one and the last one are at 66% fan speed. This is okay. I will see if I will add a 4th fan later, maybe, to keep the GPU fan speed low at 66%. My setup currently, the fans, I have overclocking on the CPU to 1000, and on the memory plus 1300, and I have limited power to 270 on every GPU. So my total power consumption is 787, and my hash 172. It should go up to 220. It will stabilize. It will take a little bit time. As you see, 74, 74. This middle one has 23 mega hash. It will go up to 74 also. Once it's up, now it's 74, and we reach 220, and it should run stable. It will take a few minutes to stabilize. It will be running as stable at 220 with less fan speed here. So thank you very much, guys. This is my rig. It's really cheap and practical. You can move the box anywhere you want. You can stack rigs on top of each other, leave a little bit space. You can put another box. So if you have any questions, please leave me some comments. If you think that I could have done some things in a better way, please also, I would appreciate your comments. Leave some comments. Thank you very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good day.